Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to break down a word you hear all the time, everywhere from the news to your kitchen table, inflation. We're going to get to the bottom of why your money, well, why it just doesn't seem to buy what it used to.
You know that feeling, right? You look at your grocery receipt or the price at the gas pump and you just think, wait a minute, where's all my money going? That feeling you get, that's inflation, right there in action.
So let's start with the absolute basics. What does this big, kind of scary economic word really mean? I promise it's probably a lot simpler than you think.
At its very heart, inflation really just boils down to a couple of simple truths. Prices for pretty much everything go up, which means the cash you have buys you less stuff. And all of that reduces what economists call your purchasing power.
And, okay, here's the official textbook definition, just so we have it down. It's the rate that the general level of prices goes up over time, which leads to a decrease in your money's purchasing power. Now, that word general is super important. It's not just one thing getting more expensive. It's a slow and steady rise across the whole economy. Let's really hammer down this idea of purchasing power because it's the key to the whole thing. Think about it like this. Maybe 5 years ago, a $10 bill could get you, say, 3 cups of your favorite coffee. Today, you walk in with that exact same $10 bill, and you might only walk out with 2. The piece of paper is the same, but its power, what it can actually buy you, has gone down. Okay, so that's the what. But now for the really interesting part, why? Why does this happen in the first place? Let's dive into the main causes. You know, economists usually point their fingers at 3 main culprits, or drivers, that get prices rising across the board. We're going to take a look at each one of them. First up, we have something called demand-pull inflation. This is that classic story of too much money chasing too few goods, right? If everybody suddenly wants to buy the newest phone, or everyone's trying to book a flight for the holidays at the same time, and there just aren't enough to go around, well, what happens? Prices go up. Next, there's cost-push inflation. This happens when it just gets more expensive for companies to make things. So if the cost of wood goes up, or shipping costs more, or wages increase, businesses don't just, absorb that cost. Nope, they push that extra expense onto us, the consumers, by raising their prices.
Now, this one is really fascinating. It's basically all in our heads. It's psychology. If we all expect prices to rise next year, how do we act? Well, workers might start asking for higher wages, right? And businesses might raise their prices now just to get ahead of the curve. And by doing that, we kind of make it happen. It can become this crazy, self-fulfilling prophecy.
All right, we've gone through the what and the why. Now let's talk about the part that actually matters to every single one of us, the so what. How does all this theory actually hit your wallet?
And believe me, the consequences are very, very real. Inflation is not some abstract number on a chart. It has actual, tangible effects on your personal finances, from your weekly grocery budget to your long-term dreams.
I mean, the most obvious impact is just a higher cost of living. It's that simple. The stuff you need every day, your food, the gas in your car, your rent, it all just costs more. And that means your budget gets stretched thinner and thinner, even if your paycheck stays exactly the same.
Oh, and it is absolutely brutal on your savings. That $100 you worked so hard to put away a few years ago, well, it's still $100, but its purchasing power has seriously shrunk. It just can't buy as much stuff as it could have back then. Think of inflation as a silent thief, slowly eating away at the value of your savings.
And here's the other shoe to drop. To try and fight inflation and cool the economy down, the folks in charge, central banks, often raise interest rates. So what does that mean for you? Well, it means borrowing money gets more expensive. So if you're trying to get a car loan or a mortgage or even just carrying a balance on your credit card, you're probably going to end up paying more.
Okay, so as we start to wrap this up, let's zoom out and look at the big picture one last time. What are the absolutely essential things you need to remember about all this?
Let's just quickly recap. 1. Inflation means your money's purchasing power gets weaker over time. 2. It's usually caused by some combination of high demand, rising costs for businesses, and what we all think is going to happen next. And 3, the big one, it directly makes your life more expensive and shrinks the real value of your savings. That's the whole story.
So here's the thing to leave you with. Inflation isn't a fluke. It's a constant, powerful force in our economy that's always there. So the real question isn't if it will impact you, but how. Knowing what you know now, how are you going to prepare for its inevitable effect on your financial future?